Why, hello, and welcome to another episode of First Chances with Chance. And in today's episode, we're talking about cosplaying. I have been pretty busy with everything, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to post last week. Um, but today's episode, we are discussing cosplay. So, for all of you guys that still listen and or guys that are new here, at the end, after you're done listening to the episode, I want you to text or leave a voicemail to 561-320-7085. Any of your guys' cosplays that you've done or that you're planning on doing. You could also DM First Chances on Instagram, First Chances with Chance on Instagram, or if you guys are watching the video portion of this, just comment down below. And yeah, so let's get into the episode. So I have cosplayed as Sakura. I've cosplayed as Ash Ketchum. I cosplayed as a Hero 1A classmate from My Hero Academia. I'm sure you guys know who Sakura is. Sakura from Naruto. I went as the original Sakura from the original series, so that was fun. This was also when I was doing the anime night at my local kava bar, so yeah. And obviously, everybody's able to cosplay, doesn't matter who you are. Uh, you're able to do all of the cosplaying and all of that. Um, I've also played. You could pretty much cosplay as anybody you want. I will be going as Kim Possible for Halloween, so that'll be fun. I have the wig, I have the shirt, like the crop top, but instead of pants, I'm doing a skirt, a cargo skirt. So I am excited, and I already have the boots that I want to wear. It's like a very um like it's a thicker wedge. It's the same ones that I wore for the Halsey concert. So yeah, I am definitely excited. I hope to go with somebody who will go as Shigo. So yeah, I am definitely excited for Halloween. I know that I don't know what I want to, if I do wear something to work, I don't know what I'd wear to work, cause yeah. But we definitely just got a packed schedule this month, so because one of our coworkers quit and they had to move all of her kids over to the rest of the team. So yeah, definitely. I don't know how tonight's gonna go because it's the first week back of this month in September. So I really have no clue. And some of those kids are very shy. Like I have one kid now that gonna be upset that he's with a different coach, but once he gets to know you, he will be fine. So yeah. And I definitely have to eat breakfast too. So we are definitely very, very busy today. I have to take the bus, get to work at 1:30, and so be it. But let's go ahead and read an article. I did see a couple. I went to UltraCon this past weekend. Not this past weekend, not Labor Day weekend, the weekend before. So I saw quite a few people. One of my friends went as Spider-Man, symbiote Spider-Man. So yeah. And cosplay, the article says cosplayers use costume to unleash their superpowers. So the article begins with a quote saying, "My name is Becky," says a young woman standing in a convention center turned comic book bazaar. Then she flips a mane of orange hair and launches into a Scottish accent. "And today I am Merida from Brave." So you definitely can cosplay as anybody you want. There's no rules or anything like that. I met quite a few people there, got some of their contacts, met up with a couple people. Might do more conventions with them. Who knows? Once I get my car, which I don't know if I want to get a car, try to get a car first or get a new job first. Who knows? It will all depend on how it turns out because I've been applying for quite a few jobs now and still haven't heard back. I know it's only been a couple days, but I will go in and talk to somebody soon, probably, and or even call them because you never know. But I've also been looking at cars. I have to go to the DMV first to get my license back before I can even think about getting a car. So let's go ahead and finish with the article. Becky Turner, a 28-year-old from Waldorf, Maryland, is at AwesomeCon in Washington, D.C., along with thousands of other attendees dressed in elaborate costumes. When she's not a fictional Scottish princess from a Disney movie, Turner says she's much more withdrawn. "I'm much less shy when I'm in cosplay. I don't have as much hang-ups as I do when I'm me. Like a little bit of social anxiety." She flares her green dress and brandishes a recurved bow with a grin on her face. "Merida's a strong, fierce, independent woman," Turner says, "and today so is she." Costuming as science fiction or fantasy characters began at science fiction conventions in the United States back in the 60s and 70s. The first cosplayers wore outfits from Star Trek and Star Wars, but the practice has really grown. People wear costumes from comic books, anime, video games, movies, and TV series. Think of a character from even a modestly popular science fiction or fantasy universe, and there's probably been someone who masqueraded as that character. And there are large groups of specialty cosplay, like the Brownies men who dress up as ponies from My Little Pony. Now cosplayers portmanteau of costume role players regularly pack conventions in Japan, Europe, and the US. For geeks, the convention offers a sanctuary where they can nerd out and meet their science fiction and fantasy brethren. For the cosplayers, that means sharing the experience of transforming themselves into someone or something else. But for many, it's not a mere game of dress up. The costumes they choose bring out something in them that's not usually visible. Niesha Wongus, sorry if I butchered the name, from Glen Burnie, Maryland, carries a 6-foot foam gun and wears a tight pleather bodysuit. "I am Fortune from Metal Gear Solid 2, she says. "I still consider myself an introvert, but once I got all the buckles and straps on and the gun and stood in front of the mirror for the first time, I fell in love with it. I feel like there's some strength, some confidence in me now because of this." And for Leyland Coleman of Nashville, Tennessee, his costume symbolizes a physical transformation. Captain America was an inspiration to him over the past year as he lost 45 pounds and went off insulin. So he designed a Renaissance version of the Marvel comics, a Renaissance character. The costume, he says, gave him the strength. I feel like I've grown into it and become it. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and be right back with the rest of the article. So now that I am back, I'm going to go ahead and read some more of the article. These cosplayers are invoking clothing's subtle sway over us. People have used clothing to subdue, seduce, and entertain for millennia. In some outfits, people not only look different, but they feel different. Psychologists are trying to figure out how clothes can change our cognition, and by how much. Adam Galinsky, a psychologist at Columbia Business School, spoke with NPR's Hannah Rosin for the podcast and show Invisibilia. Galinsky did a study where he asked participants to put on a white coat. He told some of the participants they were wearing a painter's smock and others that they were in a doctor's coat. The Secret Life of Clothes. Do clothes have the power to transform us? The latest episode of the NPR podcast. I already said that. Then he tested their attention and focus. The people who thought they were in the doctor's coat were much more attentive and focused than the ones wearing the painter's smock. On a detail-oriented test, the doctor's coat wearing participants made 50% fewer errors. Galinsky thinks this is happening because when people put on the doctor's coat, they begin feeling more doctor-like. They see doctors as being very careful, very detailed. Galinsky says the mechanisms is about symbolic association. By putting on the clothing, it becomes who you are. Almost any attire carrying some kind of significance seems to have this effect. Tailored to the article as a symbol, in one study, people wearing counterfeit sunglasses were more likely to lie and cheat than those wearing authentic brands, as if the fakes gave the wearers a plus of cunning. If the object has been imbued with some meaning, we pick it up, we activate it, we wear it, and we get it on us. Abraham Rutchick, a psychologist at California State University, Northridge. In Rutchick's studies, he has found that people wearing more formal clothing, like they would wear to a job interview, thought more abstractly and were more big picture oriented than people in casual wear. For example, those in formal clothing would say that locking the door was more like securing a house, an abstract concept, than turning a key, a mechanical detail. The effect from clothing is probably twofold, Rutchick says. When I gear up in those things, I will feel a certain way, Rutchick says. Then he says, I also feel how people are perceiving me, and that's going to change how I act and how I think about myself. The effect of that feedback is obvious in the cosplay convention atmosphere, where people rush to compliment one another on costumes and take photos. Which I did with a punk Spider-Man. and a group of other people too, so. I'm probably not going to get through the whole entire article, but it pretty much is just going through a lot of what like goes on in the conventions and how the outfit makes you feel a lot like more confident and all of that. So Ricky Lakoti, a well-known cosplayer from Atlanta who goes by the stage name Riddle, says that the power she finds in cosplay is both from the costume and from people's reactions. Very true. Very, very true. I definitely got a lot of feedback when I played when I was Ash, when I was a student from Hero Academy 1A. And so it pretty much goes over how like you get confidence from the outfits and all of that, and how different clothing items give you different like emotions, like make you feel differently. So like when I do drag, it gives me very like a lot more confidence than I would usually have. Like I feel sexy. Like I know I'm a glamour queen, um, but I also do a lot of seductive outfits and all of that. But this is where I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope you guys liked the episode. Don't forget to text or leave a voicemail to 561-320-7085. Any of your cosplay ideas, any of the cosplays that you've done or plan on doing, or just leave a comment on how you are liking this episode so far. I love feedback. And don't forget to DM First Chances with Chance on Instagram, or if you guys are watching the video portion, just comment down below. Bye guys, love you!